Yes, it's such a deep, special honor to be here with you all today. I would have to say, out of my 10 years of teaching tapping and masterclasses and so many products and programs, this class right here today is my favorite one because it means so much to me because of the deep inner process that I have gone through in my life, the level of peeling of layers, the tears, the fear, the insecurities, the rejection, all of the things that I've had to process from letting go. And to be in a place in my life now where I do not recognize myself from the process that I've gone through and from the person that I was before. And it is such a closing of a cycle for me to even share this with you all and to share the nuggets and the wisdom and the things that I've learned along the way to support you. So thank you for showing up today and for showing up for yourself in this experience with me. Such an honor to see all of your faces here on camera. We're going to have a beautiful experience. We're going to be doing a tapping experience. I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Where in the world are you coming in from? What part of the planet are you zooming into this portal from right now? I'm currently in Mexico, Tulum, which is the home that I chose after letting go, because I used to live in Los Angeles, and that was one of the shifts that I did. I moved countries when I changed my life. And it's amazing how moving home or moving to a new place supports the change as well. So I'm really, really grateful to be in Mexico right now. Okay, Florida, Sweden, Poland, Brisbane, Australia, Germany, Maryland, Oaxaca, Adrian, hey brother. Oh my God, Russia, Italy, Washington, Amsterdam, Sweden, Serbia, Canada. Wow, Italy, so many amazing places all over the planet. And isn't it amazing that we are all gathering here for the same reason, right? It just means that we are not alone. We're all part of the human story. And part of the human story is letting go. And I think sometimes as children, we were all taught this fairy tale that like things shouldn't end and that we should have the fairy tale ending. But what we're seeing in our lives is that there are many endings throughout our life. There are many phases, there are many cycles, there's beginnings and there's closures. And we haven't all been taught how to have healthy closures. A lot of the time we come from family lines that didn't know how to have healthy closures as well. And so we're learning now as a human species to practice what many of the indigenous knew way back in the past, which is that life happens in cycles and sometimes things have a completion date. And on a spiritual level, the way I see it, we have soul contracts with people, we have soul contracts with endeavors, with jobs, with relationships, and those soul contracts have a time span. And sometimes you got everything you needed from that contract and it's time to let it go. And what makes it hard to let go is that we thought, we had an idea that it was going to be a forever contract, and it wasn't a forever contract. So today, I'm going to take you through a process in this masterclass to support you in letting go. We're going to look at some of the phases that you move through when you are letting go. I'm going to talk a little bit about my story. We're going to have an opportunity to do a deep healing session, as well as get some clarity on our steps forward. At the end of the class, I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to join a program with me. If you wanted to go deeper into this work, if this helped you today, there'll be an opportunity for that as well. And really, this is space for you. This is self-healing time. Like, you can really just let go of everything and drop into your own process today. This is really my pay it forward to the community to really support you in wherever you're at in the journey. And many of us are at different places, and many of us are releasing different things. You might be releasing a death of a loved one. You might be releasing a job. You might be releasing a relationship. So I would love to hear from you in the chat. What are you releasing today? That will help me understand all the different things that we're letting go of. It could be just a resentment or old trauma or a pain that you've held onto for too long. Many things that we can let go of. So let's see what we've got. Enmeshment. Okay. Wow. That's a big one, you know. And one of the things that we're going to learn today is how to come back into our own sovereign power. So I love that piece for you, Daniel. Being a victim. Beautiful, Wendy. Coming into your power. Katya, letting go of a relationship. Old traumas, old beliefs, money, physical pain, loss of career, self-doubt, relationship and disease, death, trauma, having no child, feel of being hurt. Wow, all of these amazing things, grief and forgiving, physical pain, old beliefs, death, chapter of my life in Germany. Wow, playing small, taking things personally. Wow, let's just all hold our hands up together right now and feel everyone in the group that is ready to let go, and just feel everyone in the space right now and know that we're in this together. And that when we heal in community, the power becomes so much more potent. So thank you for bringing your vulnerability into this space, knowing that you are safe to feel everything that you need to feel today, and that we are holding safety for each other and ourselves in the process. So feel that love that we're holding in the container right now. Everyone take a big, deep breath in, fill it all up with love, send love to everyone. Exhale with a big sigh and just energize this big bubble we're in with love. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. We have arrived. Thank you, thank you. So to give you a little story about my journey. So I was engaged with a man. We were together for 10 years, and we went through a breakup, which was a shock to me. Like, I didn't see it coming. So sometimes when we're letting go, it could be a shock, or it could be like it's totally time. And so depending on when the let go or the transition happens is going to depend on how ready you are. So if it was a shock, a lot of time you got to process the shock and things like that. And so for me, I wasn't fully expecting it, but part of me wasn't ready and available to see that it was going to happen, because I was in a lot of denial as well. A lot of the time we can see it coming, but we don't want to see it coming because we want it to work, right? So that was happening for me. And then in the process of that, we had multiple homes together. We were engaged. His family was deeply my family. They lived on the property with us. It was my family away from home, you know. So I lived in the USA. All of my family was back in Australia. So his family had become my family. We had homes and cars and possessions, and when I let that relationship go, I also had to let go of all of that as well. And I had a lot of attachments to all of that stuff. So not just like the love of my life, the deep love that I thought that I was going to have family with and children with, but also like his family that I had to let go of. And then the homes that we had, the cars that I had, all my possessions, my wardrobe, my country, and I had to really let it all dissolve. And it was like a very hard death process. And in the process of that letting go, it was a real invitation to come into something totally new. And I remember at one of the hardest points in it, I was having suicidal thoughts. I was like thinking, oh, maybe I just check out now, you know, because like I don't really need to continue. Otherwise, I've got to start fresh from the beginning. And it seems like a lot of work. And it wasn't like really intense suicidal thoughts, but there were thoughts of death. And what I realized when I started doing tapping on that particular piece was it wasn't that I was suicidal. It was that I was actually just processing the death of my old self. And I think sometimes when people have suicidal thoughts, really what's going on is it's like, oh, there's a death happening inside of me, right? And so how can we die many times while being alive? that is the invitation of this era that we're in. How can we reincarnate without having to drop the body and start a whole new life? And so in that process, tapping was super supportive for me. And I got to pull off layer by layer by layer. And what I noticed in the process, there was so much support from the universe and the non-physical realms to help guide me. People entered my life, new loves, new relationships, new opportunities. And the more I peeled off, the more that started to feed into my field. And I went on the most magical journey for 3 years while also processing a lot of grief and a lot of pain. I traveled the world. I think I looked at how many Airbnbs I had stayed in for like over 2 years, like 52 Airbnbs. And there was some escapism happening as well. Like I didn't want to fully look at it. I did want to look at it. I didn't want to look at it. I wanted to escape. And only last year did I actually ground, and I said, okay, right, I feel like I've done enough work. Now I can ground in my being and really let my life align and open up. And who I've become in the process of all of this shedding is someone that I couldn't have been in that relationship. I've become more empowered and embodied as a woman. I'm in command of my business in ways that I never thought I could be in command before. I make my own empowered choices about what I want to do, how I want to live. And there's this power inside of me and this absolute joy for living my life on my own terms. And I've created so much community around me from all of my travels. I have new circles of friends, and I live exactly where I want to on the planet. So it's like kind of been a nice little era for me to be a little selfish as well. Like, what do I want and who am I? And giving myself that was really healing too. So I want to share a little PDF that I created around the process that I discovered through the letting go journey. And you might relate to different parts of it. You might even connect to different parts of the journey yourself. So basically, this is a non-linear timeline. So healing happens in a non-linear way. Sometimes we're like, oh, you start here and you end here. But what I discovered and what I teach through my method of tapping is that the journey is like winding, and you keep coming back and forth, and then you go to the next one, then you go back again, and there's lots of layers that pop up. So for me, like there were times where I felt like I was absolutely complete. I had moved on, and like I was in a very liberated state. And then I would find that there was a piece that I hadn't looked at yet that would come up and be like, oh, wow, I haven't looked at that piece yet. Okay, let me process that piece. And the clearer and clearer I got, the more space in between the processing happened. And then now it's like a little fine-tooth comb going through all the final little pieces. So basically, processing the pain is one of the biggest pieces and the heaviest pieces that you have to go through. You know, you have to release the pain, the expectations, and all the emotions that come up from letting go of something that you really cherish, something that you thought was going to be a certain way, or from something that hurt you, or something that felt violating, right? So all of those emotions, and there can often be a lot in the letting go process. So processing all the pain is an important part. If we don't process the pain, we carry it around with us and it sucks our life force. So if you're not processing the pain, often you might start to feel really tired, lethargic, like you're dragging your feet through like really heavy quicksand, because emotion is very heavy and it's a lot to move through reality, to be productive, to go for your dreams when you've got unprocessed emotion inside your system. So processing the pain is a super important part. And what we're going to do today, we're going to look at all of these through the filter of tapping, which is what I teach. The next step, which I saw, which is very clear, which is transforming your vision. So a lot of the time when we're letting go, what we're letting go of are all the visions of the future, the things that we thought were going to happen. And there's a grieving process that happens when you let go of the future ideas. And sometimes if you've been really invested in something, like I was really invested in something, I had projections way into the future. You know, I had projections of marriage, we were engaged, I had projections of children, I had so much vision of the future that I had to pull back and then let those visions die and then create new visions. right? And what I noticed, the more I let go of the old visions, the more I was able to create new visions. And when you start creating new visions, that's the life force that shoots you forward into your new life. But if you haven't grieved the old visions, they are also just sitting in there, slowing you down. So grieving the visions that you had is super important to the letting go process as well. The next piece, which is a super important piece, is discovering gratitude. So a lot of the time when we are healing, we might have resentments, we might have pain, we might not understand why things have happened the way they are, we might feel confused. And all of that is like taking up a lot of energetic bandwidth. And so when we come back into everything that we have not appreciated, everything that we've got resentment towards, every need that wasn't met, all of the things, all of the blames that are in our field, when we can look at them deeply, and sometimes there's a lot, right? So the process can be quite deep. But if you can go through each piece and find the gratitude in each piece, even if there was violation, even if there was betrayal, even if there was something that really like was not good from the other person or the situation, can we find the gratitude in that? And the hardest parts to find gratitude for are often the parts where someone did something to us that was unconscious, or something evolved that wasn't filled with love. And we hold on to that because it hurt, because they weren't taking care of our feelings. They weren't taking care of our best interests when that happened. And so that's a process to even find gratitude for those pieces, because when you are able to find gratitude for those pieces, what you'll discover on the other side is that whenever we've been betrayed, whenever we've been let down, whenever someone has done something that has hurt us, that was unconscious on their side, or even like vindictive on their side, it's teaching us about our power and where we have given our power away. And when we give our power away to someone or something, then that's when we feel betrayed. That's when we feel hurt. But when we discover, oh, actually, I was giving my power away in that moment, which is why it hurts so much. So how do I take my power back? What did it want to teach me about my life and about my own self? Right? Maybe I need to honor myself more. Maybe I need to stand in deeper truth about my clarity about what I want. Maybe I need to really honor and choose my own path. Like, what did you actually need to be embodying in those moments? That is the lesson. And when you find that, you're like, oh, it's not about them anymore. It's all about you. It's all about you discovering what it is so that you can be more empowered, so that you can feel more lit up, so that you can command your life. And your happiness and your sense of wholeness and your sense of power is not dependent on anything outside of you at that point. You are the commander of your reality. And so that moves into wisdom. So as you start to integrate and start to discover gratitude for the things that were unresolved, because that unresolved loop, that will loop in the background until the day you die if you don't do anything about it. And guess what happens if you have that unresolved stuff? You start attracting similar situations that are like that reflect the same issues, because you never cleared it out when you let go. And so wherever you are in the let go process, it's a profound opportunity to like clear it out now so that you create a clean slate to create what you truly want and what you want to manifest. And so the wisdom piece is taking all those lessons and all those gifts from the past, integrating them, and then stepping into a new embodied life. And that new embodied life will include that new wisdom, that new sense of authority and integrity and self-honor and self-respect and self-love. And all of that gets to be alchemized inside of your being, that creates a new level of power and excitement in your life, because you are more empowered. You're no longer giving it away to the past, or what your perception of betrayal or hurt or being let down by anything or anyone in the past. You recognize that you were the whole time the creator of your life. You chose to be in these situations for a reason. And a lot of the time, those reasons are there to teach us something. So that's basically what we're doing with this particular timeline. And what we're going to process today is you're going to have a look at whatever it is that you're still holding on to. We're going to do a thread. So we're going to find what is the most pressing piece right now for you. So as I mentioned, the healing process and letting go process is nonlinear. But when you work with a method like tapping, which we're going to do today, you're going to get to see how you can process much quicker. Because a lot of the time when we don't have tools, all of that unprocessed stuff is just sitting there. When you have a tool like tapping, which I'm so grateful that I had because I've been practicing and sharing tapping for over 15 years, when it came time to do this process, tapping was really the ally that helped me to clear, and reset. So that's the process that we're going to go through today for your timeline of healing. Beautiful. Awesome. Great. So what I would love to do right now is I'd love for you guys to just set this next hour to hour and 15 to really drop in. So turn off any distractions, give this space to yourself. Whatever might want to come into your life right now can wait for the next hour and 15 minutes, because your healing process is more important than anything else. Because when you heal that stuff, then you have more power for everything else. If you don't let go of the stuff, you will not have the power to really charge into the life that you want to create, because that stuff will slow you down. So really give yourself the time today to go deeply into it. Turn off your phone, turn off distractions. You might have a journal with you if any like insights come through in the practice. And have a glass of water if you want, and get yourself comfortable, because we're gonna really have a deep journey. I would love to hear from you guys in the chat area. How many of you have done tapping before, and how many of you are new to tapping? Because that will help me with the process to guide you as well. Alex, nice to see you. Beautiful. Okay, Wendy, new. Jessica, had done it to myself. Beautiful. Completely new. I've done EFT, done it to myself. Completely new to tapping. I've done it before. Okay, great. We've got a bunch of newbies, which I love. So what I'm going to show you just quickly before we dive in. So tapping, it's a blend of modern psychology and Chinese medicine. So in tapping, what we're doing is we're going to be tapping on certain points of the body. So as you tap, you're going to be tapping on these points which are connected to energy lines called meridians. So in Chinese medicine, they have acupuncture, for example, and they'll place needles on these points to release stagnation in these energy lines. And so if you have trauma in your system or unprocessed emotion, these energy lines get really backed up with energy and create stagnation. And if it doesn't get cleared out of the energy lines, it moves into the nervous system. So there's nerve bundles right where these points are as well. So it goes into the nervous system, and then it starts to influence the physical body. And also on an energetic level, these energy lines weave into the organs as well. So in Chinese medicine, each organ holds a different emotion. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be tapping on these points to clear out all of that stored emotion, all of that energy that's weighing you down. We're going to clear it out. And we're going to clear it out by tapping on it. And then we're going to be doing a call and response. So if you've ever been to a coach, a counselor, a healer, a therapist of any kind, it's similar that I'm going to be asking you to speak out loud what your emotions are, what your thoughts are, what your memories are, what came up for you, what you're processing. All of that stuff is going to get called to the surface through your voice. You're going to say it out loud. I'm going to offer you call and response. So I might say, I feel really sad, while we're tapping on our body. And then you'll be doing the same, and you'll be saying, I feel really sad. Sometimes I'll have you fill in the blank. Occasionally in a session, you won't know what you feel. And that is very normal if you have been numb for a while. And the numbing process that we often do to ourselves is a protection mechanism to stop us from feeling, because the feelings are so intense. And so what we do is we numb ourselves from feeling. And so sometimes when we're tapping, you're going to feel numb. And so instead of saying, I feel sad or whatever I'm offering, you can just say, I feel numb. And you can clear out the numbness to get underneath there so that you can feel the emotions that are underneath all of that numbing. So if that arises for you, totally understandable. You might also go through a process of yawning, burping, crying, hiccuping, even farting. It happens. And don't worry, you're in the comfort of your own home. It's all good. It's a process that moves at hyperspeed. So all of that yawning and crying that might start coming out is just the energy moving really quickly. So if that starts to happen, let yourself move into it. You also might feel really heavy and really tired, because emotion is heavy. And when you start to feel tired, your eyes might also get heavy as well, if that's the case for you. And you might feel like you need to fall asleep. If that's the case, take some really long, deep breaths so that we can oxygenate the system and start to bring that life force back into your body. It's natural to feel all of these things, so just trust the process. And then at the end of the session today, after we've done our whole completion exercise, you'll have an opportunity to do some journaling at home, to write down your visions and the things. We'll also do a little sharing as well. And then, of course, we'll talk about some other ways that we can go deeper if this resonates with you. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to just show you the points to start with, and then we're going to dive into the practice itself. So we're going to start by massaging underneath the collarbone, then the front of the ribs. These will be the points. I'll be tapping all the way through them with you. Side of the ribs, side of the wrist, and you can do either side. Side of the thumb, next finger, top corner edge where the nail juts out, middle finger, top corner edge where the nail juts out, opposite side of the next finger where it juts out. That's the only one on the opposite side on the ring finger. Inside of the little finger, side of the hand, top of the head, all around the head. Now, all of these energy lines run up and down the body. So that's why we're tapping these points, and the head is an amazing place to tap. Between the brows, temples, cheeks, underneath the nose, underneath the lips. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Beautiful. Great. So these are the points. We're going to start with a little visualization to see what it is we want to let go of. Then we're going to move into the process. Occasionally, I'm going to ask you questions. You can use the chat to answer. Otherwise, just try to stay with me in the video itself so that you don't get disconnected. But occasionally, you'll have an opportunity to write some comments as well to help guide the process for all of us. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to add some music here for us. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to place our hands on our chest right now. We call in all of the energy of our life force right now to be right here in the center of our chest. We take a long, slow, deep breath into the chest and into the belly. We let go with a soft sigh. We feel ourselves coming into our body right now. Taking another long, slow, deep breath into the chest and the belly. Releasing a sigh as you bring yourself deeply into your process right now. Feeling all the sensations, all the emotions, all of the psychic cords, all the energies, all the thought patterns that have been there around letting go. Taking one more deep breath into the belly and the chest. Exhaling slowly. And I want you to tune in right now to what it is that you're being called to let go of in your life. And I want you to tune into the struggle of letting go and what that's been feeling like for you. And I want you to tune into the emotions that have been there and the thoughts that have been there. To know that you are in a safe place to feel all of those emotions today. And that as we give ourselves permission to feel, we can heal. And that it is safe to feel the contents of emotion inside of our body today. And that it is safe to be present with our own process. I want you to start massaging underneath the collarbone here. And take a big deep breath and release a big sigh. Tuning into what it is that you've been holding on to that's been really hard to let go of. Tapping the center of the chest. And I want you to say this out loud. I've been holding on to, and just tell me what you've been holding on to. I've been holding on to, tell me what that is. Tapping between the brows, and it's really hard to let go. Tapping the temples, it's really hard to let go. And it's totally understandable. Tapping the cheeks, I've been so attached to, tell me what you've been attached to. And part of me doesn't want to let it go. And feel that part of you that just does not want to let it go. Part of me doesn't want to let it go. Part of me doesn't want to let it go. Tapping underneath the nose, part of me doesn't want to let it go. And that is totally understandable. Tapping underneath the lips. It's understandable. I don't want to let that go. And part of me knows it's time to let go. Tapping the center of the chest, even though I don't want to let go. Part of me knows it's time to let go. Tapping the front of the ribs, even though I don't want to let go. Tapping the side of the ribs, and I forgive myself for the struggle here. Tapping the side of the wrist, I forgive myself for struggling here. Tapping the side of the thumb, I forgive myself for struggling to let go. Tapping the next finger, I love and deeply accept myself here. And I don't have to let it go if I don't want to. I can hold on to this as long as I want to. I don't have to let this go. Tapping the middle finger, and I can hold on to this for the rest of my life if I want to. I can hold on to what? Tell me what you're holding on to. For the rest of my life if I want to. I can hold on to what I had hoped for. for the rest of my life if I want to, even though it's not happening. Tapping the side of the next finger, I can hold on to it and never let go. I can kick and scream and defend. Tapping the inside of the little finger, I can grasp, try to prove, defy. I never have to let go. I never have to let go. I never have to let go of what? Tell me what it is. But it's taking away my power. Tapping the side of the hand, all of this gripping and holding on is taking away my power. It's taking away my life force. It's sucking at my energy. It's holding me back from loving more fully. It's holding me back from what? What is all of this holding and grasping and not letting go? What's that doing to you? It is, say what it is for you. Say it again. It is, what is it doing to you? It is, say it again. What's it doing to you? All of this holding. Tapping the top of the head. It's possible I can let it go. Even though I've been thinking, what are some of the limiting thoughts you've been thinking in your head? I'll never find this again. It's too hard to let go. I won't have, my needs aren't going to be met. What are some of the thoughts going on inside your head right now around this? I've been thinking, tapping between the brows, I've been thinking, tapping the temples, and that's been making me feel, and that's been making me hold on. Tapping the cheeks, but it's hurting me to hold on. And I'm afraid to let go. And I love and deeply accept myself right where I'm at. Take a long, slow, deep breath in, release a big sigh. I accept that this has been really hard. Tapping underneath the nose. And I'm ready to look at this in a deeper way. I accept that this has been really hard. And it's been making me feel what? What are 3 limiting emotions that are coming up for you around this process? And it's making me feel tapping underneath the lips. And I forgive myself for that. It's possible I can loosen my grip. It's possible I can relax into this. It's possible it's safe to relax into this. And just feel all that gripping, all that tightness, all that fear, all that uncertainty that's coming up. Just feel it being held by compassion right now. Feel it being held in love and compassion right now. Feel a big blanket of love holding you right there in the unknown of how will I be if I let it go? What will happen if I let it go? Will I be okay if I let it go? I don't know if I can trust myself if I let it go. All of that stuff. And just hold it all in some compassion right now. Hold it all in love. So much compassion and empathy for that fear that's there around letting go. Take a deep breath into the feeling that compassion right now. Release a big sigh. Tapping the center of the chest. It's understandable I'm struggling with this, because I don't know who I'll be without it. I don't know who I'll be without it. And that's been making me hold on. I don't know who I'll be without it. And that's been making me hold on. I don't know who I'll be without it. And that's been making me hold on. Big, deep breath, big sigh. Tapping the front of the ribs. And I can let this go, maybe. Because it doesn't feel good in this place. It doesn't feel good on the in-between. It doesn't feel good in the in-between.
Crawling and walking.
And I want to feel free again.
And sweating.
I want to feel free again.
Forgetting.
I want to feel more free and alive again.
And cheating, hating,
and it's possible I might be able to let it go.
Forgetting.
Even just for a moment.
Itching and scratching
and see what happens. It's possible I'll be okay if I let go.
Forgetting.
It's possible I'll be okay if I let it go.
Forgetting.
Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the side of the ribs, and I'm ready to look at this more deeply now. So I want you to tune into the emotions and the thoughts that have been coming up. And I want you to tune in to the first time you remember feeling the same way. The first time in your life, perhaps before this, earlier on, perhaps you can go back to childhood where you remember feeling the same emotions and having the same thoughts. It reminds me of, and what is the first memory that comes up of feeling the same way? That you couldn't let go, that you didn't want to let go, you didn't know who you'd be on the other side, you didn't know if you were safe, or any of the emotions that are coming up around the process. When was the first time you felt those emotions in your whole life? Tapping the side of the wrist. It reminds me of, tell me what it reminds you of. Tell me an earlier memory. If you can't go all the way back to childhood, just choose the one that pops up into your consciousness now. It reminds me of, tell me what that memory is. Tapping the side of the thumb. How old were you and what was happening? I want you to say the story out loud. This was happening, this person or these people or this situation was involved. And just tell me the situation for yourself right now. Describe what was happening in that earlier memory when you felt those same emotions and had those same thoughts. Tapping the next finger. It reminds me of, tell me what it reminds you of. And I've been carrying that around with me for a long time. Tapping the middle finger. I've been carrying what around for a long time? Tapping the opposite side of the next finger because I wasn't getting my needs met. I wasn't getting my needs met. I wasn't getting the love and support I really needed. Take a big, deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the inside of the little finger. And I want you to tune into that earlier memory right now. I want you to see it as if it's happening right now. I want you to feel that earlier memory of when this pattern first started for you. When you first had these emotions, when something else made you feel that way earlier on. And as you tune into that memory, I want you to tune into the most painful part of that memory. What was the most painful part of that memory for you? Tapping the side of the hand, the most painful part was, say what that is out loud. The most painful part was, and I've been feeling, what did you feel as a result of that? Ever since. And what I really needed in that situation was what? What I really needed was tapping the top of the head. What I really needed in that situation was what? What did you need that would have helped you in that situation? What did you need that would have helped you feel supported, loved, taken care of? What did you need that would have helped you feel more empowered in that situation? Tapping between the brows. I really needed. What did you need? Say it out loud. I really needed. What did you need in that situation? Tapping the temples. I really needed. Say what you needed. I want to hear you voice it. Because a lot of the time when we didn't get those needs met when we were younger, we have shame around even having those needs. But those needs are there for a reason. I really needed. Say what it is. Tapping the cheeks. I really needed. I really need it. I want you to voice it. I want you to feel the power of it. I want you to feel the conviction in it. I want you to imagine your inner child saying it out loud with power and truth. I really need it. I really need it. Say it again. I really needed. Say it again. But I didn't get it. Tapping underneath the nose, and I really needed it. I really need it. I want you to say it. Let's really bring it forth. Let's be honest right now, because this is where the healing happens. There was an unfulfilled need, and you needed something that you weren't getting. I really needed. Say what that is. Tapping underneath the lips. And I was worthy of that. I was worthy of. And I've always been worthy of. Say what it is. And I forgive myself for denying that. Tapping the center of the chest. I forgive myself for not knowing that, because they didn't give it to me. They didn't give it to me. And I've been pleading to get it. I've been trying to prove myself to get it. I've been trying to force it to happen. And I haven't been willing to let it go. Part of me thinks I need to push and force to get it. But it's not happening. It's not happening. Feel into that right now. Feel into that space that it is just not happening, right? Like, let's be honest. All the things that you wanted, all the things that you tried to make happen, all the things that you wish it could have been are not happening, right? So let's be real with that right now and accept the truth. And it's okay that it's not happening. So saying this out loud, it's not happening. And that's okay. Tapping the front of the ribs. And I'm still worthy of it. I am worthy of. Tell me what you're worthy of right now. I am worthy of. Say it again. And I've always been worthy of that. And I'm worthy of that right now. And I forgive myself for thinking I needed to force it. I'm letting that go now. Big, deep breath, big sigh. Ah, good. You're doing good. Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm letting go of trying to force it. Tapping the side of the wrist. I am worthy of. Tell me what you're worthy of. And I have always been worthy of that. I have always been worthy of. Tell me what that is. Tapping the side of the thumb, and I forgive myself for thinking I wasn't. Tapping the next finger, I am worthy of. Say what that is. Tapping the middle finger, I am worthy of. Say what that is. I am worthy of. I want to hear it. What are you worthy of? I am worthy of. I am worthy of. Let's sing this to the universe right now. Let's claim it. Let's know it. Let's trust it. Let's get into integrity with the truth of our desires right now. I am worthy of. Say what it is. Tapping the opposite side of the next finger. I am worthy of. I am worthy of. Say it again. Take a big, deep breath in. Release a big sigh. Tapping the little finger. And I'm ready to receive that now. I am ready to receive what? What is it that you're worthy of? What is it that you've been craving? What is it that you've actually truly been wanting? What is it that you actually truly desire? versus trying to force the things that aren't a match for that into it. Can you just be clear with what you want and let it show up for you? I am worthy of. Say what that is. Take a big, deep breath in. Release a big sigh. Tapping the side of the hand. And I'm ready to receive that now. And I'm giving it to myself first. Because I'm done with trying to convince the world to give it to me. I'm done with trying to prove myself. I am worthy of what? What are you worthy of? Yes. Yes. What are you worthy of? I am worthy of. Say it out loud. Feeling this with you. I am worthy of. Beautiful. Big, deep breath. Release a big sigh. Good. Taking to the top of the head, and I'm ready to bring this into my life now. Great. All right. So I want you to tune into that memory right now of when you weren't getting it. I want you to tune into the memory of feeling disheartened, of feeling hurt, of feeling unappreciated, not valued, not supported, not taken care of, disrespected, left out, rejected, dishonored, abandoned. Whatever it was for you right now, feel that earlier moment right now as it was happening. And in that memory right now, I want you to imagine and feel all of the pain and all of the disconnection and all the loneliness that's there. And I want you to imagine you look over into the corner of the frame of that movie and you see your higher self there who knows you so deeply, who loves you with all of their heart, who has so much understanding of what you just went through. And I want you to see them walk over to you right now in that movie. And I want you to see them get down on your level. And I want you to see them just wrap their arms around you right now in that moment. Tapping between the brows. And I want you to feel all of their compassion, all of their love for how freaking difficult that was. And I want you to feel them loving you and holding you in all of that. Feel the love of your higher self. Take a deep breath into it. Release a big sigh. Another deep breath. Feel their hug. Feel their hug holding the pain right now. Feel their hug holding the love. Feel their compassion right there with you. Take another deep breath. Release a big sigh. Tapping the temples and receiving this love from my higher self now. I'm receiving this love and support from my higher self now. Tapping underneath the nose, and I want you to tune in as you feel that hug and your higher self is there with you in that moment. And they're looking deeply into your eyes right now. All of their love in that moment, they have something that they want to share with you. They have a message for you. What is the message from your higher self right now? What do they want to share with you? My higher self is telling me what? Tapping underneath the lips, my higher self is telling me. Tell me what that is. Yes. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Tapping the center of the chest. My higher self is telling me. Tell me what that is. And then go ahead and write that into the chat. Tell me what that is in the chat. What is your higher self telling you? And then come back to tapping. Beautiful. My higher self is telling me to go for my dreams. My higher self is telling me I am free. My higher self is saying it isn't your fault. You don't have to stay anywhere that doesn't feel safe. I'm proud of you. It wasn't your fault. I see you. You've always been loved. I'm going to be better than okay. I love you as you are. You are not alone. There is great love for you and you're worthy of it. I am worthy. Feel into your message right now. See that message as they look at you deeply in the eyes and feel it sinking into your consciousness deeper and deeper and deeper right now. Feel the message. Feel what it feels like to really receive the truth of this message right now, that it is safe to believe this message. Take a big deep breath into the message. Release a big sigh. Beautiful. Tapping the front of the ribs. I'm ready to trust this message. I am ready to trust this message. Yes, my friends. Yes, I'm ready to trust this message. Woo! Tapping the side of the ribs. I'm ready to trust this message. And feel any parts of yourself that are afraid of fully trusting this message. Feel any parts of you that don't want to fully trust this message. Feel any parts of you that are still clinging to the old. Because it's relieving you right now. Lean into that right now. Take a big deep breath to any resistance to fully diving into this message. Any pushback, any doubt, any holding. Take a big deep breath, release a big sigh. Stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Right now, bring your hands up to 45 degrees. Feel all the energy coming in right now. And we're going to just pump the belly for a moment. So on the exhale, bring the belly towards the spine. Let's go. So really powerfully blowing out through the nose. As you do that, bring the navel in. Let's clear this field right now. Go for it. Clear it out of the field. You got this. Really move the energy. Imagine yourself, you're clearing this out right now. You're clearing the block so that you can trust the message. Powerfully breathing through the nose. Now, while doing that breath, you've got to bring the hands up and down. Go. Keep going, you got this. Keep moving the energy. We're clearing the field right now. Wide open all the way. Go, you got this. Your wings are flying through the air right now. Go for it. Keep that breath going. Imagine yourself sailing across the sky with wind in your hair and the clouds around you as you soar free right now. Keep that breath moving. Right above the treetops. Go for it. You got this. See yourself flying. I know you've got this. Keep lifting. I know it's heavy. You've got this. Keep flying. You've got this. You're almost there. Let it out. You've got this. Go for it. Inhale. Bring the energy all the way up. Hold the breath. Spread your hands to either side and brush your field open. Exhale, blow it out. Your power now. Bringing your power into the field. Bring it up. Inhale. The power of your existence, every single chakra aligned with the full power of who you truly are. Exhale, brush it open. Taking one more deep breath. Inhale, lift up all the light now into your field. Oh, you're filled up with light. So much light there. Inhale. We're going to keep the right hand to the sky, and we're going to gently bring the left hand down through the center of the column now. Exhale. We're going to hold our connection to the earth and to the heavens. Take a deep breath into this space. And then bring the other hand down to your chest, hand on the belly and hand on the chest now. And I want you to tune into your life, what your life looks like, what's possible for your life right now when you let go. What can come through your life right now if you say yes to a new beginning? What do you really want? What do you really want to create in your life? Who do you really want to be, and what do you really want to have? And how do you want that to express itself? What is that vision? Because you are so worthy of it. And it is time to claim it. Tapping the center of the chest. Releasing the other hand. Take a big deep breath. Release a big sigh. Tuning in right now to what you're creating in your life. What do you get to create now in your life? Who do you get to become? What do you get to have? What do you get to choose? What do you get to attract that actually serves you and the beautiful being that you are? I'm ready to create. Tell me what it is. Ah, yes. I'm ready to create. Tell me how that is. And I want you to imagine that happening in your life right now. What does that feel like when you're creating that? That feels really I get to create. What do you get to create? Oh, God, doesn't that feel good to know that that's available to you? And I want you to tune into all the positive emotions and feelings and sensations that come from that vision, the new vision. I am creating. Say what it is. Yes. Yes, it's so you. I am ready to create. Tell me what it is. This is my time. This is my time. And I'm creating what? What are you creating in your life? What do you get to attract? What do you get to become? And what are the positive thoughts that you have in that life? I'm thinking what? And what are you doing in that life? What happens on a day-to-day basis in that life? Who are you sharing that life with? How does that life look? What does that life look like? Big, deep breath, big sigh. I'm ready for this. And I'm trusting this now. And it's going to be beautiful. I'm ready. And I'm going to have a lot of fun doing it. Big deep breath, big sigh. I want you to feel in your body right now what that feels like in your body when that's happening. What are the sensations? Is it bliss? Is it bubbly? Is it light? Feel it in your body right now. And then just like give your body a little rub as you feel those sensations. And I want you to imagine your whole body feeling what that feels like, that vision, as you just touch, caress, and move the energy of your body wherever it wants to move right now. Move it through and feel the sensation. And then take a few deep breaths as you do it. And just rub your chest for your heart opening. And feel this connection to yourself, this deep self-honor. This honoring of your heart and your life and what you're ready for now. Taking one more deep breath in. Exhaling with a sigh. And I want you just to write into the chat area what you're creating in your life right now. Beautiful. Ready to embark. Centered healing practice after 3 years of pause. Beautiful, sister. Peace. Start writing alignment, serenity, a beautiful adventures, soul business, New York, new love for myself. Yes. Ready to love, devotion, love and ease, a loving, supportive community. Let's all just read these together as we hold everyone in our heart, knowing that we're all worthy of this. We're worthy of everyone's intentions because we're human. We're worthy of loving relationships. We're worthy of spreading trust. We're worthy of connection and softness. We're worthy of devotion. We're worthy of a soul business. We're worthy of serenity and alignment. And so as we feel everyone in the group now, I want you to feel into any parts in your heart or any part of your body right now that wants to receive a healthy dose of soft, yummy love. And see it going in and nourishing right now every part of your being. That your being is now drinking from that love. Feel the love as you drink it in. Feel your body drinking in where there once was a desert. Now there is a forest. And there is abundance. And your body is drinking from that abundance right now. Take a deep breath into that beautiful nourishment. Inhale. And exhale with a sigh. Beautiful, my love. So I want to congratulate you all for holding this beautiful container for yourself and for each other, and how special and sacred it is to hold this. So one thing that you're going to do for yourself today is you're going to take down the new vision. You're going to write down what that new vision is, because that vision is your lifeline forward now. That vision is what pulls you out of the things that don't serve you into what you're truly worthy of. And that those visions are there for a reason. And those visions have been there since the beginning of time. They're in your soul. They're part of the direction and the path that you are supposed to follow. That's why the vision is there. And that is why the vision is unique to you. So write down that vision, create a vision board around that vision. That's one of the things that we'll be doing in our masterclass series, in our program. But before we get into that, I would love to do a little chat with everyone. I would love to hear how everyone's feeling, anything that arose, anything that came up, anything that you healed, any light bulb moments. So if you'd like to share something, because as we share what our discoveries are, as we share what we healed, as we share what we realized, as we share what we let go of, as we share these new insights, this helps us integrate them as well. So if you would like to share something with the group, a gem of wisdom, a little insight, something that came through for you in the healing process, just raise your hand and then I can bring you up and we can have a little chat about it. And know that as you do it, it is a blessing to the rest of the group because we're all growing. And so your voice matters. And being able to share is opportunity for the others to grow through your process too. So who would like to share something? Okay, beautiful. Mary.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Hi. So I just wanted to thank you. I began thinking that this was like more about like my insecurities with relationships just from like being cheated on or stuff like that. And it actually stemmed from, it stemmed from my father and my mom when he cheated on her. I was really young, like 9, 10 years old. And I realized like then, my mom had me as like her support instead of like her daughter, So I think like I've been holding on to this, like thinking that, it's because like men are the problem or that's the problem. And it was just because of that young memory that was so tainted in my head,
Yeah.
So I just
Wow.
realized that that's where it really came from.
Yeah, beautiful. What a powerful realization. The responsibilities that get put on so many children because our parents aren't in a space of wholeness within themselves, and then the children feel responsible. So coming out of that, what was the new vision for yourself?
Basically just that I can trust and like I could let go of that. I don't have to keep my heart guarded or in case somebody else is gonna people are gonna do whatever they want to do. I just gotta be okay with me and be secure with what I'm doing in the relationship.
Wow. Powerful,
Mhm.
sister. Thank you for that transmission.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, it's absolutely correct. Coming back to our own empowerment, recognizing that we're creating our reality. And also, like when we close down our heart, like we also like attract others that also don't have their heart open, right? So it's almost like we're attracting mirrors to ourselves all the time. So if we can really do the practice of showing up with what we really desire and really communicate that and really call that forth, that we get to really open our heart to that and let the world know that that's what we're ready for, then we get to really have a vibrational match to that as well. So thank you for sharing. It's beautiful. Awesome. Who else would like to share? Someone else had something that they discovered? And Vader, if you see anyone else in the groups, I know that we've got like a few layers here. So you can also, okay, cool. Mandy, beautiful.
Something that was interesting that came up for me was when you were asking the question, what did you need? What did you need? Like that really intense moment. Um, I kept thinking to myself, I needed encouragement or uh, out of all my relationships, that's what I truly needed. I needed to be able to do more, to flourish. That's what I needed out of it. And then all of a sudden it hit me. It wasn't encouragement that I needed from these men in the relationships to be able to do more, to be able to be successful so that my relationships work. I needed to be loved exactly the way that I was. Like the more that
Beautiful.
you talked, I had thought that I needed to do more that whole time or push harder or be better. And that's why all these relationships failed or didn't work out well. Even that's kind of what I'm working on letting go right now is my marriage. We've struggled and we've had these toxic cycles this whole time. And I've tried to be healthier or be lighter in the relationship or bring more joy or more fun, all these different aspects. And I kept thinking if I had had more encouragement or been happier or sexier, all these different things came to my mind. And then all of a sudden it hit me like I needed authentic love. I needed someone to love me exactly the way that I was. I needed someone who was going to be there where I didn't have to try so hard all the damn time. Like I was always good enough. I was a happy person. I was always loving and I was right there.
Exactly.
And that was a theme through all my relationships in my life was that I always tried so hard and that was never
Right.
reciprocated.
And a lot of the time as children, we get trained to feel like we need to try hard in order to get the love that we want. And then we start like convincing and trying to prove. And then this journey comes back and ultimately comes back to like, wow, I'm going to love myself so much that I am going to stand for that kind of love from others. And that when I fully love myself, then I only attract those that can mirror that level of love. I actually wrote something down today on my walk to the house. It was, love yourself enough to move on and to create the life you know you want and deserve inside. And a lot of the time it does come back to that self-love. You know, we put up with situations, or we think that we need to change situations to get what we want, when in actual fact we just stand for what we want and we let that show up, versus trying to force it out of situations that may not actually be available for that.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you for that share. Really, really special. Awesome.
Thank you.
My loves, thank you so much for sharing this. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to have a little pivot. If you guys want to stay on, I would love to share something with you. I am going to share a 7-week program that I've got, which is all about letting go. And it's a really deep process. Obviously, you guys have had a little taste of what it's like to do this kind of work with me. And I want to show you what it would look like if we did 7 weeks of this together. So if you're interested, please stay on. We'll probably spend, another 10 or so minutes just looking at this. And if you've got questions, we can go over your questions and we can talk a little bit more in detail about what it is. So I'm just going to jump over here. So this is a 7-week tapping program, which is going to start on the 10th. It's the 10th? Yep, 10th of June. And basically, it's a program to support you to look at all aspects of your life, because often when we are letting go of something, we're going through a whole life reboot. So it's an opportunity when letting go to have a look at your history of all the things that are unresolved in all the areas of your life and going through a massive reset. So what we do through this process is we support you not only going through different times in your life where you may have unprocessed traumas and unprocessed memories that are influencing what you're attracting in your life today and the struggles that you're faced with. So we do a whole discourse of your ages, actually 0 to 20, and you map out all of the significant memories. And then throughout the program, you start healing some of those core patterns so that we can really transform them from the root. So as you guys saw in the class today, when you actually go back to those earlier memories, they're able to influence and ripple out into what you're experiencing today, because that's where the pain or the fear or the traumas got set in place, and then loops start happening. So we start to clear it out from where it all began. And when you do that, you start to create more miracles in your life. You start to manifest the things that you actually truly deeply want in your life. And it's no longer from a place of forcing, it's from a place of allowing, because you cleared out all of the friction inside from those unprocessed emotions, thoughts, and memories. So during the 7 weeks, we're going to do 7 weeks of different topics. So alongside doing the inner healing around these big chapters in your life or core wounds in your life, we then go into each week looking at a different area that they may be influencing your life. So the first week is all about deep healing. We identify those major moments that I was talking about, any deep wounds that need attention and love. And then we start to introduce, in combination with the tapping, also visioning and intention setting to help you start moving out of those blocks. And then in week 2, we go into vibrant health. How do you really want your body to feel? How do you want your health to radiate? What is stopping you from really being at a vibrational level physically and a health level that's radiating bliss and joy and beauty? And how tied in our physical health, our habits and things like that is to our unprocessed emotions. When we have unprocessed emotions, all sorts of habits start to go into effect that affect our physical health, our vibrancy, we might have brain fog and things like that. We're choosing foods that aren't supporting us. So it's a real reboot on how our health is also influenced from the things that are unprocessed. In week 3, we look at relationships. We look at all kinds of relationships, romantic relationships, relationships that we've had with our family, relationships that we've had with significant people in our life that still might need to be cleaned up or cleaned out. And then we create and embody new inspiring templates for our healthy relationships. What do we want our relationships to be like moving forward? How do we want to relate in relationships? What do we want to create in relationships? What does that feel like? Inviting in all of these new intentions. And then week 3 is all about playing in a joy, which I think a lot of the time when we're doing deep let go work or we're doing deep healing work, we can forget about just the joy of being alive, and we get so caught in the heaviness and so caught in the process. So in the middle of the program, we're welcoming joy back into your life. We're welcoming happiness and play and connection and bringing back in positivity. Because yes, while you're doing your process work, sometimes it can be all consuming, but to recognize, oh, well, we're still alive. I'm still breathing. I can still go for a walk in the park. I can meet up with a friend for lunch. I can take an hour off and paint, right? And just recognizing that there are ways, not only other than tapping, but ways that we can bring more joy into our life. And one of the things that we do through the program is we give you guys a joy calendar. So every week, in addition to doing your inner healing work, you also have a joy calendar. So you're putting things on your calendar every week just for joy. Because the emotional process, while it's deep, we've got to continue to sprinkle joy in, because that's what lifts us up. That's what moves us to the new direction. So we're letting go, but we're also bringing in those new visions. We're also taking care of our life. We're also inviting in more fun. And that's a really beautiful week that we do. And then every week we do the joy calendar as well in combination with this. Week 5 is all about wealth. How are our blocks affecting our abundance and our prosperity? How is the emotional process that we're in, or the lack of letting go, holding us back from standing more in our sovereign power to create wealth, to attract wealth, to live our dreams, to make the things happen that we want, that attract money and financial flow? And so recognizing that that's a part. All of these pieces are influenced by the letting go process. And so we're doing a reboot on all these areas of our life. And as we do reboots on all of these areas of our life starts to take a whole new shape. And this is what I did when I went through my letting go process. I looked at every area of my life and I was like, okay, reset. What do I want? How do I want this to be? And it's like a full-on makeover. So then we go into success. Right? Like stepping into your empowerment and stepping out of some of the patterns that we have of the why me, or the victim, or I can't, or it's too hard, or even codependencies that we have on certain situations or people, that we need them for certain things. But how can we find that within ourselves and stand and go for the things that we want in our life and make our dreams come true and get inspired and lit up by our dreams? Because those dreams bring so much texture and beauty to our life. And a lot of the time when we're going through a grieving process, we can forget our dreams. And so this is all about coming back into our dreams and creating success in our life and clearing out the blocks to that. And then we go into the final week, which is my funnest, most fabulous week, which is all about manifesting miracles. And you're going to see in the live classes, which we'll go over shortly, that it all leads to you being in your whole self, coming back to your sovereign whole self, where you love yourself completely, where you're feeling stable in your being, where you're going for your dreams, where you're feeling lit up by your new visions, where you've let go of the past and now you're moving forward. And then that's when miracles really start to happen, because when we don't have all of that emotional content still sitting in our field, we're much more available to synchronicities. We're much more available to miracles, because we're no longer clouded by the process. And so by the end of the program, we're all manifesting miracles in our life, which is really fun. So we basically go through each week. You've got videos and workbooks. You have tapping 90-minute immersions, vision quests. So the 90-minute immersions each week are on the topics. You're doing deep childhood, inner work, healing work. And then you're doing vision quests each week. Like, what do you want to vision? What is your clarity? Where are you moving forward? What do you want to create? What is your vision for the future? And then we do master manifestation exercises as well, which are really amazing. It's a combination of like positive tapping, with meditation to create those visions. And so every week you have these practices to not only let go of the old, but then to create the vision for the new that's coming into your life. And then these live classes, so because we're doing this as a live program, we've added these into the product for this particular series. And this is going to be really fun. We're going to meet every other week and we're going to do a live class with me. And they're like ceremonies. So the first class that we're going to do is called Breaking the Chains of Pain, right? Really being honest with like, where are we self-sabotaging? Where are we holding on still? Where is our hurt, our heartache? Where is our fear? Let's be honest so that we can clear it out and move into deeper places of resilience to move through the process so that we can step into the life that we deserve, so we can have more happier, vibrant lifestyles and create the life we want. And then the next week we go into rebirth. So rebirth is all about shedding all of those outdated visions and versions of yourself. So as we talked about at the start of the class today, you know, often we have all these visions of what we want, what we wanted and what we thought was going to happen. And we have to let all of those visions go so that we can create a new vision, right? And so we do process around mapping out all the visions, writing them out. This is what I thought was going to happen. This is how it was going to happen. This is what I expected. This is what I needed. And this is the vision I had, right? And we're going to write them all out. And then we're going to let them all go. And then we're going to rewrite the vision. What do I want? What do I want to create? Who do I get to be moving forward? So that's a really beautiful class, the rebirth class. And then Echoes of Gratitude is really a beautiful class as well. So, you know, we're turning the corner at this phase where we're looking at any parts of ourselves that don't have gratitude for the past. You know, like where is there still hurt? Where is there still pain? Where do we feel let down? How do we find gratitude for it all? Because when we're not in a state of gratitude, we're usually holding on to things, right? So we want to let it all go. And when we can arrive into a deep place of gratitude, that's when we know that we've arrived, right? That's when we know we've fully let go. But any places inside of ourselves that don't feel gratitude for the process, for what happened, we go into those and we're like, what was the wisdom there? What was the gem there? What was that teaching me about myself and my true power? When that happened, that was teaching me that I get to be this. That was teaching me that I can stand in this. That was teaching me that I am worthy of this. That is teaching me what I really deserve. That is teaching me, and all of that, when you make those remembrances of what you're truly worthy of through that process, then you step into gratitude. And we send so much gratitude to the past. We send so much gratitude to all the lessons, to all the people, and we close the cycle. And then we step into this is my favorite, self-sourced powerhouse. Where you are sourcing your own power, right? And that comes from looking at all the things that we were attached to in the past that we thought we needed in order to be whole. Oh, when I was with that person, or when I had that made me feel whole. I needed them around for that. I had to have that situation in order for, right? All of that stuff is giving our power away. It is some level of codependency, like needing something outside of yourself for your power. So we look at that like, oh, what were the gifts that person or that situation brought me? And how do I embody those gifts inside of myself now? So I'm not dependent on needing it from them anymore or needing it from that situation anymore. I have it. They actually showed me how to have it because they embodied it, right? And I lent on them a little bit to get it because it helped. But now I know what that template feels like. I know what that template looks like, and I can embody that full power inside myself. And that's when we step into that self-sourced powerhouse where you are the commander of your reality. You know that you're safe. You know you can take care of yourself. You know that you're embodied, and you start to magnetize those miracles that we're talking about because you recognize that you are the creator. You're the creator of your life on all levels. So that's basically, you can see the dates that we have for those live classes. Some people that I work with, many of you may or may not know, I'm a Mind Valley author. So I have a program with them called Emotional Intelligence. Went on tour with Don Miguel Ruiz, author of the 4 Agreements, do a lot of work with Deepak Chopra. So my work, and then Michael Beckworth. So my work is touching a lot of the mainstream. I collaborate with a lot of people, and I share tapping in these worlds. These are some people that worked with me. And then additional bonuses that you're going to get as part of this program. You're going to get a tapping journal, a digital tapping journal. You'll have additional scripts that you can do at home. You'll have an extra mini course for financial flow, another extra mini course for magic and grace. So there's a lot of amazing, inspiring workshops in there, videos that you can do. And then you've got those live classes with me as well. So for this particular program, we really wanted to make it affordable to absolutely everyone. So back in the day, this program was $1,500, and we've brought it down to $500, just to make it super easy. And then you can also do 3 monthly payments if you want as well for $194. And then this program will start on June 10th. So that's a little bit about the program. If you have any questions about the program, Vader, if you can add the link into the chat here, maybe I can add it as well. So if you have any questions about the program, the flow of the program, the contents about the program, this is a great opportunity because I'm here now to talk a little bit more deeply about it. Okay, will the live classes be recorded as many of those dates are on our travel dates? Yes. So we actually have those live classes. They will be recorded. There'll be an opportunity. We'll have a chat area in the program as well to communicate and to connect and share. And in that you can ask questions. I'll be available to respond in the chat. And then also I will respond to those questions if you want any of them answered on the live classes as well. So in the replay, you'll be able to get access to those too. Okay, beautiful. Anything else coming through? I'm in a similar situation, very interested, but traveling for some of those dates. Yeah, so Jamie, no worries if you're traveling for those dates. This is also an evergreen program. So normally the program, we only release it as a live program once a year. So this would be the opportunity if you wanted to do it live with me and get the live classes. Normally it's an evergreen, so you just do it at your own pace, your own timing. So if you can't make all of the live classes, that's no worries at all. You're going to have the program for life regardless. And then you can do the replays, and then you can show up for the ones that are available for you as well. Okay, beautiful. Do you offer a payment plan? Yes. So we have a 3-month payment plan, and that is $198 for the pro, or $194 for 3 months. So you can pay it off over a 3-month period. And then how many days a week? So basically every other week, we're going to do a live class. So there's 4 live classes over the 7 weeks. And then during the week, you can do it at your own pace. You'll get the content every Monday, and you can practice. You can turn on the taps. You can do them any day of the week. You can write questions about it, and we'll be available for that. The only times if you are wanting to do the lives is just to show up live with us. We rotate between either a 10 a.m., which would be the time that this class was at, PST, or 6 p.m. PST. So some of you in Europe will get 2 live classes, and some people in Australia will get 2 live classes, and then US and Canada will get them all. Beautiful. So that's basically that. Fantastic masterclass. Thank you so much. Apologies for not being able to switch the camera during the session. I'll read more about the 7-week program, discussing right now. Be in touch. Beautiful. Awesome. So yeah, last opportunity to get any questions answered. If you want to pop them in the chat, we'd love to see them. You can head over to the sign up page today. If you do sign up today, you're going to get a bunch of the live classes, the recorded classes already in your bonuses area. So what you're going to get today, I'll just show you if you do sign up. You're going to get these bonuses today. So you'll get the digital tapping journal, transformative tapping scripts, financial flow, tapping into magic and grace. They're your bonuses to get started. And then once the program starts, everything else will start dripping out on the 10th of June. And we're all joined together as a beautiful cohort to tap together. Awesome. Love this course. I'm planning on signing up, but do you offer one-on-one? Mary, sister, we've been meaning to catch up, haven't we? She's been messaging me on Instagram. You found me here. Okay, she tracked me down. I do offer one-on-ones. I am I have a wait list right now, but I think I have a space, and I know that we were speaking about it. So and you shared some of what you were moving through. So I actually am going to have space open up in like a week or two. And so what we can do is we can just start a conversation about that. Once I get through this little push in the next 2 days, I'm going to leave you a message, and we can talk about it, and even hop on a call if you want to talk about one-on-ones. But yes, I do take on clients for one-on-ones. Yes, beautiful. Awesome. Lovely, my sweethearts. So thank you again. You've got the link. I would love to see you if you are going through that release process, if you are going through letting go. Trust me, like I wish that I had something like this when I was going through it, because it can be a battlefield, you know. There's so many layers, and it can take a long time. And I've spoken and worked with so many people that have held stuff on for years and years, because I didn't have a process to let go. And this process is a really clean process. And it can save you years of your lifetime, and like dragging stuff around that doesn't serve you. And having a 7-week container with my guidance, who has also been through some pretty deep let goes, and this practice that I've been teaching for over 15 years. So if you are interested, I would love to share it with you. Feel free to reach out if you've got any more questions. And yeah, we start in like 10 days. So yeah, looking forward to connecting with you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for staying over an extra 10 minutes with us today. It's an honor to meet you all, and I look forward to going deeper and sharing more. All right, big hugs, all my love.